Yes, hello, and welcome to another episode of Raw to Real, where we talk about human design, raising your level of consciousness and awareness. And today we're talking about the manifestor aura type. Now, personally, I love the manifestor aura type. For the longest time, because of conditioning, I thought I was a manifester. I can go out and create, but I can't. So we're going to talk about the manifestor aura type, and we're going to talk about its traits, its characteristics, its gifts, its not self themes. We're going to tie in some work from the Kabbalion with it as well, so we could just understand how we can create in a way that has ease and flow. And the first thing I want to say, I've mentioned, is the manifestor aura type. When we talk about the manifestor aura type, what do we mean when we talk about aura? And I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but aura is everything that radiates from your energetic field, right? And every aura is going to have characteristics and traits about it, right? There's different nuances to your aura, but it's really when you're in someone's aura and energy field, that's what makes you say, I really like their vibe, I really like their energy. It radiates about 6 feet in every direction from your center. And once you really understand the nuances of your energy type, you can move in life with more ease and more flow and more grace, right? You have less resistance because you understand how your energy works and corresponds to other energies that are surrounding you. So when it comes to energy types, there are 4 different energy types that I want to discuss. First, there are the generators. Generators, you are here to respond to life. They're really here to experiment with responding. They have a warm and enveloping aura. There's the manifesting generators like myself. Manifesting generators, again, are also meant to respond to life, but you can also initiate and create, but it's imperative that we inform those that are around us that might be impacted. Then we have my projectors. My projectors, you have a focus and penetrating aura. Your gift is the ability to see gifts in other people. And that's what they're meant to experiment with and also wait for the invitation as part of their design. We have the reflectors, very rare. You make 1% of the population. You're here to sample life. You're here to sample energy. You're here to sample your environments. And then that leaves us, last but not least, our focus for today's session, the manifestors, the beautiful design of the manifestor energy type. So what makes a manifestor a manifestor? First thing is manifestors do not have a defined sacral. Because they don't have a defined sacral, they need to pay attention to how they use their energy. Unlike generators and manifesting generators who have a defined sacral, they can go long periods of time without rest. Manifestors, because you don't have it defined, you have to honor your time in periods of rest, because when you rest, you are most efficient. The second thing for manifestors is you have a motor connected to your throat. Now, that motor connected to your throat is how you express yourself, how you bring things into fruition. That's how you manifest things. And that can be in a direct or indirect connection that you have. So manifestors make up 9% of the population, which means they're extremely rare. Now, manifestors, you're here to find what you love, create it, and make impact. You are here to be a leader. You're a natural born leader, which means you're not here to follow and you're not here to be told what to do, but you're here really to lead from the front. And that's the beautiful thing about your design. You have this closed and repelling aura, which means you have the ability to move things out of the way. You kind of part the seas, so to speak, so you can move towards your goal. And that's the thing that manifestors need to understand and carry with them. You have this ability to create and make impact and forge the way and bring things into form. You're very different than other aura types in the sense that while they're almost waiting from this validation from the universe, from others, whether it's a response or an invitation or a cycle, you're not waiting for that. And that's kind of beauty about you as well. And that's also what separates manifestors from others a little bit, because once you're aligned from a strategy standpoint and an authority standpoint, you can really go out and create and bring your desires into form. So there's so many energy dynamics at play here. And I think that's a beautiful thing. The first thing that I'm noticing is manifestors, you have a closed repelling aura. So when people are in your auric space, they might feel like something's wrong with you because of that closed repelling aura, when matter of fact, there's nothing wrong at all. So it's just about you just knowing how you feel, holding space for yourself and being true to how you truly feel. The second thing is, because of that closed and repelling aura mixed with your ability to move quickly and create impact, you can really bring what you want into fruition. In some ways, you align with the dominant culture that says successful people need to go out and create, so part of that is true for you. You can go out and create. You have the ability to have an imagination, which comes from source or the divine, and you can attach that imagination with your feeling of the wish fulfilled, and then you can start to create as long as it's in alignment for you. And I think that's a beautiful thing to have and possess that. It's about knowing that as manifestors, you're here to make impact in this world, meaning you're here to find what you love, be independent, align with that, and bring things that you want into form, because that's how you make impact. The challenge is manifestors feel as though if I inform people along the way, I'm going to experience resistance. The truth is, informing is the path of least resistance, and that's what allows you to experience the satisfaction theme of peace. Now, when we look at it as a whole, I think we all understand that because manifestors move quickly, because they're independent, because they don't like to be controlled, they'll look at informing as, if I inform someone, it's going to slow me down from moving as quick as I want to do. Or if I inform someone, perhaps they're going to talk me out of this. Or if I open the channel of communication by informing someone, they're not going to allow me to do what I want to do at the end of the day. Now, what we have to do is look at this from a layer deeper. We all understand that what we believe at a subconscious level is what's projected in the outer world. What I create and believe internally is what's shown in my reality. So if my limited beliefs, my doubts, my fears, or my past experiences have taught me that informing is going to slow me down, informing is a bad thing, informing is going to create resistance. If I believe that at a subconscious level, this is now what I will create in my reality. And this is what I'll experience through people, places, and events. So when you look at the laws of correspondence in the Kybalion and you apply the Hermetic teachings, as above, so below, as below, so above, you'll understand that if your vision of your external world is not congruent with your reality, you need to make changes internally so you can experience more flow in your world. So it's about asking yourself, what do I need to change internally so I can experience a different reality? So for my manifestor, it's looking at, where did these limited beliefs around informing come from? Why do I have them in the first place? And when you understand that, you begin to clear those negative beliefs, those limitations, those doubts and fears with new beliefs. It's about shifting my beliefs. So informing becomes something that allows me to experience more flow and harmony and peace. It's about replacing those negative beliefs and limited beliefs that I had with positive beliefs. So I start to experience flow and harmony in the people, places, events that show up in my reality. It's about remembering that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. So if you believe that people will give you resistance when you inform them, and you imprint that in your subconscious, things in your reality, people, places, experiences will show up to prove that, yes, you will experience resistance when you inform. But it's a matter of understanding that if my reality is not congruent with what I want, I need to go inward and change my limited beliefs, replace those limited beliefs I have around informing, and see informing as the path of least resistance. Seeing informing as the way that I achieve my goals and my desires. Seeing informing as the way that's going to give me peace, the bridge to give me peace. And when I remove those limited beliefs and I put more empowering beliefs, what will show up in reality will be a projection of how I feel inside. The world and all within is man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause as well as the substance of the entire world. So it is to consciousness that we must turn if we are to discover the secret of creation. Meaning, if we want to experience more flow in our life and we want to experience that theme of peace, we have to look inwards and we have to replace our limited beliefs with more empowering beliefs. And when we do that, we'll realize that what projects in our reality is a direct reflection of what we feel inside. As a parent of a manifestor child, I get to watch these energy dynamics at play firsthand, right? You get to see this energy that wants to move quickly and, goes from one project to the other and just kind of leaves a trail behind them. And then you see this creativity of just always want to bring things into fruition and create and make impact. And then you see this independence, like, no, don't hold my hand, I got this, which is great. You see the carnage, things left behind, but you also see at the same time, the struggle between wanting to be independent and asking for permission. You could see that they understand the benefits of asking for permission, especially from a safety measures perspective. But despite that, they still want to have more control over the decision making and just kind of do things. They see asking for permission or being polite sometimes as creating resistance. And again, this is something that you understand people just need to work through. So it's also an interesting dynamic because what we try to do is provide them with the resources so that they can make the best decisions, knowing that they're going to fall sometimes, knowing that they're going to fall on their feet or they're going to land on their face sometimes. But it's all learning, and it's important that we all learn at our pace because we are where we're meant to be, as we know through human design. And this brings us to our challenges. The manifestor child oftentimes has been taught to suppress their powers, especially if you grow up in a house full of generators like our child. So it's really about relearning and recalibrating with your strengths, stepping into your powers that you've suppressed, understanding the power that you have, that you can create, and you're here to make impact. And once you align with those things, you begin to live your truth. Next is about understanding that when you don't inform, you're going to experience more friction in your life. From those that are close to you, that work with you, that are friends and family, when you don't inform, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be frustration on their part. And if they communicate it, you end up hearing about it in the long run. So it's really about getting to a place where you experience more flow and harmony, because flow and harmony are the bridge to peace. So you're going to experience this theme of peace when you learn to inform in a way that empowers you and aligns and makes other people feel respected as well. And then the last challenge is just understanding that as manifestors, you're not here to operate as generators. Your energy is precious, meaning, you work in short spurts. You go out, you create, but honor your time for rest. The dominant message, and I constantly go back to this, is always telling us, go, 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 push, 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 move, 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 where rest is almost seen as a weakness. Rest is a strength. Rest tells yourself that I love myself, to honor my rest. And when I'm rest, I'm at my best. And when we do that as manifestors, you'll be at the top of your game. So the not self themes and signature themes for the manifestors are anger and peace. So if you're living out of alignment and you're living in your conditioning, if you're not getting well rested, if you're not informing people, if you've suppressed your powers to impact, you're going to experience this theme of anger for my manifestors. But if you found a way to live in alignment, you're not living in your conditioning, you're well rested, you're doing the things that light you up, you're following your strategy and your authority, and you're leading from the front in a way that includes everyone else, you're going to feel this theme of peace. When it comes to anger and peace, it's also about understanding that we can polarize ourselves towards anger, or we can polarize ourselves towards peace. It's about taking the necessary steps so we polarize ourselves in a way that's in line with our vision and our desires and what we want to create. When we look at the Kybalion, the principle of polarity states that everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes all meet, and all truths are but half-truths. I really appreciate that saying in the laws of polarity, because what it's saying is that we can experience what we want in life. We can be on the cause side instead of the effect side. We can create with purpose instead of creating by default. If you take the manifestor, and on one end of the spectrum, you have anger, on the other side of the spectrum, you have peace. We can always polarize ourselves to peace. But if you experience anger, it's about saying, befriend yourself, understand, why do you experience that theme of anger? What limited beliefs, doubts, indecisions, and fears are attached to that outcome? So perhaps for the manifestor, it can be, well, every time I inform someone, I experience resistance. I don't get to do what I want to do. People slow me down. And as a result, I feel frustrated and angry. That could be the belief. But when I believe that, I imprint that on my subconscious. And then what happens is the universe brings me people, places, experiences that align to that belief. So yes, I'm going to have people, experiences that are going to tell me, no, you can't do what you want to do, Mr. Manifestor, Mrs. Manifestor. So what we do is we polarize ourselves to what we want. If we have a desire and we want to experience that feeling of that desire, and we want to bring that into form, and we know that feeling that is something completely different, we replace those negative beliefs and those limited beliefs that we have around informing. And we tell ourselves, when I inform people, everyone around me supports me. When I inform, everyone helps me bring my vision into fruition. When I inform, actually the universe brings me people through informing that are also here to support my vision and my goal. So now I've replaced the negative views about informing, and I've implemented positive views on my subconscious. And when I believe it and I attach my feeling to the wish fulfilled, the universe will bring me people, places, and experiences that would help me make the impact that I'm supposed to make in this world, so I can live in peace and fulfill my desire. To summarize, manifestors, you are here to make impact in this world. You are the true leaders. Being 9% of the population makes you extremely rare, and that's a beautiful thing to have. We all need leaders with your skill set, with your power, with your speed and your grace. It's about understanding that when you inform, it doesn't need to create frustration in your life, nor does it need to create anger. If you tell yourself at a subconscious level that informing is the bridge to peace, what you believe at a subconscious level is what you're experiencing, your reality. You have the ability to tap into your intuition, have this beautiful imagination, attach that, infuse that with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and bring that into fruition. You're here to make impact, and people will support you if you align with your strategy and your authority.